Damn. Jason Waller here, True Underdog Podcast. Check us out and subscribe. iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CastBox. We're on the YouTube channel, baby. You can go to trueunderdog.com and check out the latest episodes. Tuesday's episodes are usually Underbite. This is a special Wednesday live episode on Facebook and on Riverside FM for the Podcast Nation. We are going to talk about bend, don't break. How many times in life do we feel crippled? Do we feel broken? Do we feel like everything's against us? We can't overcome it. You wake up, maybe the bank account's empty. You wake up, maybe your girlfriend or your wife left you. Maybe you got fired from your job. Your car's not working. You got no money for gas. We got fucking COVID. All kinds of shit happening in our lives. What are you going to do about it? First of all, you can't let it break you. How many times have we talked about it? We preach it every single time on this podcast. You have a 100% survival rate on any issues that have come your way. You can't allow it to break you. It's okay to bend. The only way we succeed in life is by failure, is by obstacles, is by pain, is by struggle. Those things teach us knowledge. They give us strength. They give us thicker skin. They give us motivation. They teach us something. When you win and when you are successful or you accomplish something, it teaches you nothing. It's a reward. It's a feeling of, I can catch my breath, but don't get caught catching your breath too much. Don't ever sit at the top because you fall down, right? I always say there's no elevator. You got to take the steps. Those steps are forever. There is no top floor. You got to keep grinding. Celebrate in small doses. Don't waste your time celebrating so someone else can pass you up. Let's say you wake up and I talked about your car's broke down. What are you going to do? Well, they got Uber, right? They got Lyft. You got to think, how can I go to my job? What can I do to be proactive? You better go ahead and do that shit. You can't let things hold you back. Maybe you lost your job. Guys, there's companies out there hiring every day. I know a lot of businesses out there are struggling. I hate that for you guys. Bounce back, come up with a plan, be strategic. What can you do the next time around? It's time to regroup. It's time to bend and not break. But there are jobs out there. There are people looking for people. I know our company, Power Home Solar, is always looking for people. So I know there's other companies like ours looking for A's and B's to join the team. Don't allow that to hold you back. Maybe your girl left. Look, we all go through problems. I've been married a long time. It's been up, down, left, right, sideways, 360, 180. I mean, I get it. I get it. However, how do you deal with it? What do you do? How do you deal with heartache? How do you deal with being alone? You got to regroup. You got to breathe. Maybe meditate, pray, find something to keep your mind off stuff. Stay busy. Challenge yourself every day. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's listening to a podcast. Maybe it's listening to music. Maybe it's writing down your thoughts and goals. The best thing you can do is keep your mind busy and not sit there and wither away in the quicksand and allow things to break you. Again, you can be bent. You can hurt. You can feel guilt. You can feel ashamed. You can feel pain. You can feel failure because all it does is toughen you and it teaches you and it makes you learn. But what it doesn't do is it don't allow it to break you. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe somebody left. Maybe something's going on. You've got to learn to step up and overcome that. It's one step at a time. Don't start to make progress and then quit early. Too many times I've seen people in business and life, in sales, in any kind of job that they do, teaching, going to college, whatever it is, they gain a little bit of momentum. And then the minute it gets tough again and another bad thing happens, they go, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. Here's my white flag. I'm done. You can't do that. You got to have the mentality, bend, don't break. This is bad news. I'm taking a step backwards. I don't give a shit. It's time to step forward. It's time to overcome things. There's nothing special about me or anybody else out there that continues to stay positive. It's all up here. It's the mindset of how I'm going to look at things. I'm not going to sit here and have a fucking pity party. I'm not going to complain and ask for everyone's help of, what do I got to do? How come I'm struggling? Bullshit. I don't want to ever owe anybody anything. I don't want anybody's help. I appreciate the gesture. I want good friends and surround myself with positive people, but I don't want anybody's help unless I can't fucking do it. And I refuse to allow things to happen in my life that I can't do. Because I don't want to be indebted to somebody. I don't want to owe somebody something. I don't want to feel guilty and now I got to return a favor. I mean, but that's me. You might be different. You might have more compassion. You might be sweeter, whatever. We're all built different ways. But for me, I don't want to owe anybody anything. I love that I've got good friends that will pick me up if I'm down and help talk to me and help inspire me. But I don't want any favors. I don't want any handouts. I don't want to struggle where I'm feeling indebted to somebody. In life, I've had failure. I've had times where I couldn't pay my bills. In 2002, I filed bankruptcy. I struggled in life, right? I've been there. I get it. I've had times where I couldn't, pay myself for almost 2 years opening the company I'm running now. Like this happens. You have to understand that things aren't always easy. Shit, they're not easy now. We're grinding, we're growing, but we reinvest in the company. I'm not making more. The company's growing, right? You've got to be disciplined. And because of my bad experiences in my life, I don't have any debt. I don't buy shit I can't afford. I don't go out and put myself in a position where I've got to struggle to make ends meet. If I can't buy it, I ain't buying it. There's no reason. So anything I've got, or you think that I bought that shit, there's a difference. I don't owe anybody anything. And how did I get that? Well, I got that because, when I filed bankruptcy, I didn't like that I couldn't pay my bills. I felt like a failure. I struggled from that. How do I regroup from that? That was in 2002. I was only married a year. I tried to open a business with somebody doing landscaping. They fucking completely fucked me over, put up lawnmowers in our names, disappeared, whatever. Here I am. What do? I'm a kid. My wife wanted to stay home. We're wanting to have other kids. What do? Filed bankruptcy. One of the worst decisions of my life, but I have no regrets. That made me disciplined to never have debt again. It made me disciplined to never borrow money again and have to pay interest unless it's absolutely mandatory. And I have to get a house and I don't have the cash. Fine. But you're not going to see me going to lease a car or I don't do that. If I can't buy it, I ain't getting it. And that's a rule I live by. But why? Because I was bending. I didn't break. I didn't allow that to break me. I didn't allow that for me to quit. I found a way to use that. Look at that as an opportunity, as a learning lesson, as motivation to get bigger and better and to do things in life that I can change and do and make a difference. I love what I do, but the best part of what I do is getting to work with some of our district managers, regional managers, our project managers, our crew leaders, to be able to help inspire them. I always use the word motivate. I'm going to change the game for a little bit to inspire them to be better. That's what it's about. It's about everybody that you can touch, feel, taste, be close to inspire to be better. The world is already shit. We're not going to change that. You can't change the world, but you can change your mindset. You cannot allow people or things to break you. Things are going to happen to the best of us. And I got something else I got to say. I was having a conversation the other day with my wife. She told me, "You're mean." That's what she said. "You're mean. You're just a mean person." And I started to think about it and I took it personally. I think I am mean. And I think that sucks. And I think I need to work on that. I'm not perfect. I am mean. I lack compassion, and everything to me, it's white or black. Yeah, there's no gray. It's either it was done, it wasn't done. It either works or it doesn't work. I didn't get this way overnight. I got this way by when I was nice, I would be very nice to friends or family that worked for me. And then they get big-headed and they open up another company and then they compete and they try to put us out of business, or they lie and they cheat and they steal. And I went over a list of like 8 or 10 people that I was really kind to and nice to that it blew up in my face. So to me, nice guy finishes last when it comes to business. You can't be nice when you're running a company. You can be proactive. You can be inspiring and motivating, but you got to keep that shit real. You're not here to make friends when you're running a company, right? With your family, you got to be nice. With your kids, you got to be kind and nice. And your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever you got to be kind. But in business, if it doesn't make sense, it ain't doing it. It's it. It either is or it's not. There is no in between. And the moment that I learned a few years ago to take some of the personal emotion out of business and say, this is what works and this is what doesn't. The rest is just noise. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to believe it. I don't need to feel guilty for it. I make decisions in my company for 1,700 people. That's what I look at. I don't go, what's best for Jayson? What's best for the executives? What's best for the folks in Ohio? That's not what I do. I go, what is best for 1,700 plus people? And if I can't get what's best for that, what's best for most of the people, right? Maybe most is 1,200, but it's bad for 500. I go with the numbers every time. What decision can I make that's best for the overall brand, for the people? And when you believe in something, whether you work at a place, whether you teach at a place, whether you own a place, when you believe that, and you can take the personal emotion out of business, and you can take the personal emotion out of decision making and not get tied up and be naive. And look, I'm not saying there aren't good people. There's great people out there. And I'm not saying be a dickhead. I'm not a dickhead. I'm mean sometimes, but I come across, and I'm going to use this. I don't necessarily know if it's mean. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, well, I really like this person, so it's okay that they cost the company tens of thousands of dollars, or they don't give a shit and they quit early at 3:00, but they make a ton of money and they have no interest except lacing their paycheck. That I don't want people like that. I want people that are inspired to help other people. I want people that are inspired about what we're doing and building a movement. I want people that are rowing and believing that we're in this together, that it's our company, that we're going to take this to the next level, that we're going to go public, that we're going to have a transaction where all the employees get to cash in their ticket and be a part of something great. I want those kind of people. I don't want the people that are selfish or, that only think of themselves or hate on others or slow others down or don't want to show or teach anybody anything. I think that that's the biggest issue we have today in business is you have too many people that are insecure and they're scared to teach people stuff because they're scared to lose their job. And it's the complete opposite. The more leaders you can create and the more education and skill sets you can share with other leaders, the bigger you can become, the bigger presence you will have in an organization and in your life. The more people you impact, it's a game changer. So you got to ask yourself, right? Am I going to allow things to control me today, or am I going to overcome these things? Am I going to be able to be clear-minded to make a decision? When you go for a job interview, that's your shot. You can't go in there and half-ass it. You can't go in there and be scared, be intimidated. This is your chance to sell you. You got to have that attitude, the Terrell Owens. I love me some me, right? And I always say this. If you don't bet or believe in yourself or invest in yourself, nobody else ever will. That's a fact. If you don't love yourself and you don't believe in yourself and you don't bet on yourself and you don't inspire yourself, you have got to do some self stuff first before anybody else is going to give you what you need. That's a fact. So everyone can tell you you're not going to do this, you ain't going to be shit, you aren't shit, all this. That's fine. That's noise because this is what I'm going to do, period. And then when they convert over and they're on the ride, hey, yes, I agree with what you're doing. Dude, you're winning. But the only way you get there, the only way you overcome being broken or being held back or letting things control you, it's here. You've got to find a way in your mind to reset and go, okay, I love myself. I believe in myself and my skill sets. And if I don't have the skill sets, fuck it, I'm going to learn them. I'm going to grind and outwork everybody I can. I'm going to show my passion, and my work ethic is going to blow everyone out of the fucking water. I'm not going to sit back and watch anybody ever outwork me. If you have that mentality in life and in business, that's step one. Step two would be, okay, do I inspire myself? Can I keep myself aligned? Can I make sure that I don't break and I only bend and I'm able to turn that bend back and get back on the road? Can you do those things? And that's a question you got to ask yourself. You shouldn't have to run to your mommy or your daddy or your spouse or your friend and say, this is, what do I do? You have got to learn to make decisions on your own. You've got to. It's okay to inquire and say, hey, I'm really torn about this. What do you think? But damn it, it's your decision. And if you don't believe in you and you can't focus on your decision, again, you're wasting your time. You're struggling in this. I truly believe that those that do great things in life are no different than those that don't, except how their mind was in the morning and at night. How did they adjust what they thought about that day and what effort they were going to put in for the day and what they thought about when they went to bed and what effort they were going to put to the next day? I believe that is a big separation between greatness and just folks. I had an interview today where it was with a co-author. I'm trying to write a book. And I said, I believe that we have lions and we have sheep, and everybody knows the analogies. Sheep just kind of get by and do their thing, and lions go out and they're the predators and they're the growers and they're the entrepreneurs. But listen, you don't have to be a business owner to be a lion. You don't have to be a millionaire to be a lion. Shit, you could push the broom at Walmart and be a lion, as long as you're loving it and you're living your best life and you're passionate and you're filling your void and you're successful in your heart. Damn it, you're a fucking lion. But when you accept something less than what you feel you're worth, or less than something you desire to do, you're a sheep. I don't give a fuck how much money you make. You're a sheep. And there's a lot of sheep out there that if you ripped off that coat right now, you'd be a damn lion, but you're too scared to rip it off. You just want to, I'm just going to stay under the radar. This is okay. It pays the bills and the benefits are good. I hate what I do, but I make a lot of money. Well, why? Then fucking quit. What's going to happen? Downsize your lifestyle. You think opening a business, you're going to get rich first? I'll tell you something. Open a business, you're going to be the poorest person in the company for a hot minute. That's how this works. In fact, like in my case, you don't get paid for almost 22 months. I mean, that's tough. You have got to be able to take things that you learn, not from myself, but other people out there. You got to stick it in there and utilize it. I do this podcast to try to inspire just one person, just change one person's life. I had a gentleman come up to me the other day. It made me feel good. I'm going to give him shout outs. I think his name is Jeremy. He does the car detailing at our house for our cars. And I've never really talked to him much at all. I mean, I just, hey, hi, that's it, right? So I'm on the Woodward cruise. Hey, that's it. So he came up to me the other day, made me feel good. So shout out to Jeremy, and said, hey man, I just wanted to let you know that I've been listening to your podcast. And I always get a little, oh, all right, thanks. I get a little like, okay, a little embarrassed, a little shy about it. Okay. And I was like, oh, did you like it? He's like, dude, it inspired me. He said, I've been thinking about getting a second truck out there, and I've been a puss on it, dude. I haven't, and excuse my French, I'm going to be real. And he said, I haven't been able to have the balls to do it. I've been scared to do it. I just, I didn't want to take a chance. I said, well, what now? He said, well, I listened to your podcast, and I always say scared money don't make money. He said, I went and got a second truck and we're full, we're booked. And I said, good for you, man. He said, yeah, I'm excited. I should have done it a long time ago. Look, if you're not going to bet on yourself, if you're not going to invest in yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing? You think the next door neighbor is going to invest in you or bet on you? No, you have got to bet on you. You have got to be the difference maker in your life. Nobody owes you anything. You owe yourself the difference of what your day is going to be, the difference of what your week is going to be, the difference of what your month is going to be, your year is going to be. That's all up to you. You got to quit making excuses. You got to quit finding reasons. You got to quit fucking being broken. It's okay to bend. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be pissed. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to get on the ground and fucking bitch for a minute. But then it's time for you to stand up and do for you and believe in yourself and use that problem, that issue, that hurt, that failure, that rejection as a motivation, as a learning skill set to take it to the next level. What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? How am I going to break down these doors? How am I going to focus? I've got to be stronger. You are not going to, it's like working out. I am the king of failure. I have way more failed problems and things than I do success. But all it did is toughen me up. I talked about it here. I had a bankruptcy. I've had relationship problems. I'm not a perfect dad. I'm an asshole sometimes. I'm the only softball coach, girls softball, for 8U to be thrown out of the entire fucking complex. That's me, Mr. Asshole, arguing with the ump, saying, hey, that shit, they were safe. Everyone has their own shit. You've got to overcome that, and you've got to stay positive. If you're still breathing, you're still living. If you can hear this podcast, you're still alive. You're still batting that 1,000%. Your survival rate is great. So now you need to get off your ass. You need to look yourself in the mirror. You need to tell yourself you believe in yourself and that you can be bent, but you will not fucking break, that you've had enough, that you're not going to take it anymore, that you're going to stand up for yourself and you're going to do what you need to do for you and yours. You have got to start making those changes. Do not get into that bubble of just getting by and living like shit. The time is now to start focusing on what inspires you, what changes you. Don't be scared to take a chance on you. You're the only one that can invest in you first. And that's all I got today before Thanksgiving. Bam! That concludes another episode here on True Underdog. If you're interested in hearing more, make sure you subscribe at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the YouTube channel. You can always visit trueunderdog.com, subscribe to all of them. Make sure you check out our newest episodes coming out on Mondays and Thursdays. True Underdog, baby. Bam!